Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Rusty Wallace built Iowa Speedway to be America's fastest short track, and hosting the likes of NASCAR, IndyCar, Grand Am, and more, Iowa is just that. This 7/8 mile D-shaped oval provides racing from wall to wall and puts drivers wheel to wheel each time they return. With not a cloud in the sky and a whole day of racing ahead, I cannot wait to welcome you guys to the return of the SRCA. So with that, welcome race fans to Pit Stop TV. We are live to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch tonight. Trey Patton with me in the booth. Emerson Ardon on social media, and myself in the booth. That was kind of a interesting little, that was out of order. Regardless, this is Pit Stop TV's live coverage of the SRCA Indy Pro 2000 series at Iowa Speedway. We join you tonight from the virtual Newton, Iowa for the SRCA Fall 2020 season opener. It is so good to be back. I've got Trey with me. We have Emerson on social media, so he's technically here. And man, it's been a while since we've had some SRCA racing on the channel. Emerson was so kind enough to wrap that up with us back in the spring. Patton, I believe this is your first time covering the series, might be second or so. But regardless, it's so good to be back. The SRCA is on track. We have the brand new cars to talk about this evening. And wouldn't you know it, Rick Ray Vaughn is once again the fastest on the racetrack.
ORL series, and I'm pretty sure, I never actually covered SRCA. I kind of watched the broadcast a little bit, but never actually covered, so I'm pretty sure Rick Ravon did some dominance here. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah, he's always one to watch out for. He's just always good. I think that's what it comes down to. He's good in these open wheel cars, be it an IndyCar or now an Indy Pro 18. And actually, we say Indy Pro 18, but what does that mean? Well, I'm glad you asked, because we have this nice graphic to compare the two cars. So what we've been racing on with the SRCA Pro Mazda series, or Pro 2000 series, these last couple of years, has been the Legacy Pro Mazda, as we now know it. A 240 horsepower Mazda rotary engine with 13x9 front wheels and 13x11 rear wheels, and a six-speed sequential gearbox. Now we have the Tatuus chassis along with a 2-liter, 275 horsepower Mazda engine. It is not, at least to my knowledge, is no longer a rotary, so that makes me sad, and I believe it makes the rest of the Dorito-powered community sad. We do have 13x10 front and 13x12 rear wheels, still a 6-speed sequential, so there's still something staying the same, at least the kind of gearbox. But everything else just about is different from these two cars, yet it's still realistically about the same racing products. That said, here on iRacing, the Indy Pro 2000 has received nothing but praise and is actually, I think right now, seen as a better car.
Yeah, I haven't done much running on them, but from everything I've heard of people that have been running them, that they thoroughly enjoy the Indy Pro more than the Pro Mazda for sure.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but praises for this race car, so I'm so glad that we get to cover it here on Pit Stop TV for the SRCA Indy Pro 2000 series. That's going to take some time getting used to. I've been saying Pro F 2000 series a lot since January, in fact, and we have to make that change now to Indy Pro 2000. And we don't have point standings, of course. This is the season opener, but the nice thing about this evening is we have 2 races on tap, just like the Iowa doubleheaders of not so long ago here, Patton. We've got 2 races to talk about this evening. It's more than just the usual one race that you get with most leagues. No, we've got 2 to cover. We do have a 30-lapper to kick things off this evening. Then we will continue on with a 50-lapper to close the evening out. So 80 laps of racing split between 2 different races. This 30-lapper a little bit shorter rather, to give these guys a chance to kind of settle in, find their bearings, and get used to the race cars, and just see how these things are going to race. Because while the SRCA, Elijah Gracia, Spencer Madden, and more of the admins have been doing a lot of testing throughout the offseason, there's still a lot of unknowns about how these cars are going to race, especially at a place like Iowa Speedway to open the season up.
Yeah, for sure, especially on a track like Iowa. You're never going to really know how these cars are going to handle. The track varies, just like any other place you go, depending on the time of day, depending on what setup you're running on the car. it's all downforce comes to key here, or comes into play here, because downforce is key when it comes to these cars for sure. But for a place like this, you're not really going to use a lot of downforce, so they're probably doing more of probably like a low downforce thing. I mean, I'm not really much on downforce and things of that sort, but I could be completely wrong on that.
Well, you're not too far off. I'm not sure how these cars are set up this evening, but you're not entirely wrong about wanting to usually on an oval go for a low downforce package. These guys might be on a high downforce package. I'm actually not entirely certain of that myself. Maybe if we get a chance to talk to Elijah, we can ask him that question. But no, you're totally on track a bit there. Regardless, though, we've got, again, like I said, 80 laps of racing. And a note that both Emerson and I were making not so long ago is, wow, Cole, oof, that's a big one, is that we have Daniel Falkingham coming in as the previous Iowa, the defending winner here at Iowa in the SRCA Indy Pro 2000 series. He swept both races last season. We had dual races last season here at Iowa. He swept those both. He won one of the races actually at Montreal, one of the other dual events. And I mean, this guy is just good in these little underpowered open wheel machines, and I would not be surprised if he wins them again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be very surprised either. Daniel Falkingham's definitely one of the guys to look out for anyway. Like, just even on an oval series, I've raced against him in multiple leagues, and the guy's a wheelman in about anything he drives.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's just so quick. And, I mean, it's kind of weird. The mainer just gets the speed from who knows where, and, maybe lobster powered or something, I don't know. But the number 20 just is always one to watch out for as we get racing in the SRCA, NORC, whatever it may be. I think SRA, whatever else he runs. So be sure to look out for that number 20 again this evening. Some other drivers worth mentioning. We talked about Rick Ray Vaughn. He's always quick. He's one to watch out for. We also want to look apparently to Rocco Stallone. First time I've seen this guy in the series. I think he's a brand newcomer by that measure. We also want to watch out for Aaron Smith, Will Klein, Elijah Gracia, some of the other guys up towards the front. And with that, we are on to qualifying. And these guys will get a couple of laps to go, 5 minutes and a couple of laps to go set their fastest times. First on the racetrack looks like is going to be Daniel Falkingham. And, I mean, that makes sense. He wants to go fast.
He's definitely one of the guys that will go fast. Who doesn't like to go fast? That's the real question.
That is a pretty good one. I don't even have any response for that. Daniel Falkingham starting his first of two qualifying laps. Down the backstretch goes the Red Bull number 20. We'll see how his first time puts him, or seeds him in the field. A bit slow out of 4. He's slowing down. I think he's going to give it one more go. Yep, wants to stop before the line, so I think he'll give it one more go. Cole Freilich jumps to the top of the board for now. And Cole puts down, he was first. Eric Block, now P1 in the number 37. And he puts down a 21.206, currently faster than Jeffrey Fisher, Anthony Pritchett, Rocco Stallone, Kiri Smith, and more. We got some other drivers out here that we haven't seen very recently. Let's see. I lost track of them. One of those would be Eric Block goes even faster. One of the drivers I'm trying to look for, he keeps getting moved around here, Dan Morera. Now, we have not seen him in an SRCA race in some time, but we're so glad that he's out here with us. He's currently 9th on the grid. Don Hunter's out here. I saw Timothy Bates, Howie DeTrey currently 14th out of 14 qualifiers, but I'm sure he'll pick that up. Timothy Bates goes up to 3rd place. John Morgan in 4th. Rocco Stallone currently sitting in 5th.
Anthony Pritchett actually took the top spot with the 21.114, so it knocks Eric Block down to 2nd. Looks like Falkingham and Rick Ray Vaughn still have not set a time yet. Looks like Spencer Madden hasn't set a time. Justin Ford hasn't set a time yet. Actually, Rick Ray Vaughn's actually on track now. Currently sitting in 14th, trying to get a faster second lap. I expect him to be the top of the board here.
Ray Vaughn going to come through and finish his second of 2 qualifying laps. He goes from 14th to Top of the board for Rick Ray Vaughn. Takes it by 3/100ths of a second. It's a 21.082 to Anthony Pritchett's 21.114. I'm sure Emerson is kind of cringing back there. His buddy Anthony drops to second on the board. And man, what a great time out of Rick Ray Vaughn. Jumps up to pole position. He was 14th when he set that lap time. Spencer Madden now on the racetrack in the Ohio State Buckeyes number 6. And we'll see how he sits himself. He's got one lap in the bank. Sets his second lap now. Where does he go? It looks like he's going to stay in P5. In fact, he goes 3/10 slower almost. So a 21.145 going to be the best for him. 1/100th a second off of Timothy Bates. Justin Ford turns in a blazingly quick lap time of a 1:28.559. That is, let's see, 67 seconds off pace. So you know what? I think he's going to have a pretty good run this evening there in the 00. We'll see how the rest of these drivers fare. It looks like Daniel Falkingham, Aaron Smith, Will Klein, Sheldon Lockie, and Elijah Gracia all going to opt not to qualify because they've only got 1:20 left and they have not gotten onto the racetrack. I say that, actually, Aaron Smith is turning a lap time at 4 miles an hour, as is Sheldon Lockie, Will Klein. So qualifying strategies right here.
Yeah, a lot of interesting qualifying strategies. I'm not quite sure. So for the second race, do they do invert? Or do they just do a whole requalify or go off finishing order?
I believe we'll requalify.
Okay, because I wasn't quite sure. Because I was going to say maybe if they want to start in the back and maybe trail in the back and maybe start front for the longer race. But I guess that throws that idea out the window.
What is unfortunate is this isn't even sandbagging. This is just gaming the system. Sheldon Lockie looks like he'll finally come around and finish his lap time. So Sheldon Lockie, Will Klein, Aaron Smith, all moving about 4 miles an hour. Daniel Falkingham, I don't think... Oh, there he is. He's just waiting to cross the start-finish. Elijah Gracia, I don't think is taken to the racetrack. Anthony Emery, a late entry, has not taken to the racetrack either. And we'll see where they end up being slotted into the starting lineup. But we want to talk about an event that we've got coming up tomorrow night. Of course, we always have events coming up at some point or another. And tomorrow evening, we have the conclusion of the Makoni Setup Shop Summer Tour at Charlotte Motor Speedway on the Legends Oval, because they are, of course, in Legends cars. And if you've not seen all of the season leading up to this, we've got 4 separate events you've got to go watch. We've got the VODs on Facebook and YouTube. There might still be one on Twitch from a couple of weeks back at USA. You should definitely go watch them. It's been some great racing. We've had some rocky roads a time or two, but all in all, it's been great stuff, a great product that they put on over in the Makoni Setup Shop Summer Tour. With that said, though, we've got a grid, and I'll let Trey take it away.
Yeah, row 1 we have Rick Ray Vaughn, and starting second we have Anthony Pritchett. Starting third on row number 2 we have Eric Block and Timothy Bates. Row 3 starting 5th we have Spencer Madden and John Morgan in 6th. Rocco Stallone starting 7th, Jeffrey Fisher starting 8th, Kyle Cuthbertson starting 9th, and Ronald Singleton Young starting 10th.
And in 11th, we've got Cole Freilich, a name we're very familiar with. To his outside, it's Ian Wilson. We've seen him in SRCA Pro F2000 races before. Now we'll see how he fares in the Indy Pro 2000. Dan Morera comes up 13th. Don Hunter in 14th. Row 8 gives us Kiri Smith and Victor Valley, another name we're familiar with. Going back to row number 9, I know how to count. Howie DeTrey in 17th position. Justin Ford with his 1:28 something or other ends up going 18th. And of course, these guys did not set a lap time. We got Sheldon Lockie, Will Klein, Aaron Smith, Daniel Falkingham, Anthony Emery, and Elijah Drew Gracia rounding out your starting lineup. These drivers getting ready to get going for 80 laps of action all told. 30 laps, though, in this first race. The first race, again, a bit shorter to make sure everything's sorted away, and then they can make any adjustments they might need to before the second race of 50 laps. You see Rick Ray Vaughn leaving the grid in his Rick Mears throwback that he always runs on his race cars, and there it is, the gold number 3. And, you know, I don't know a whole lot behind that livery for Rick Mears, but all I know is Rick Ray Vaughn is simply the biggest Rick Mears fan that I'm at least aware of.
Here we go. I think I was having some mic issues, but yeah, he is most definitely the self-proclaimed biggest Rick Mears fan, and I think he lives up to that title for sure.
Oh yeah, he'll be the first to tell you that Rick Mears is his racing hero, and he always likes to run that gold paint scheme, no matter what it's on, an Indy car, a Pro Mazda, an Indy Pro 2000, whatever it is. That's the paint scheme you can count on Rick Ray Vaughn running. He starts from pole position this evening, a position we're used to him holding. We've got some newcomers again. We've got Anthony Pritchett to his outside. Behind him, we've got the number 37. I'll find that name again. That is Eric Block. Starting third. Starting fourth is going to be that 05 of Timothy Bates. Actually, I think Rick's teammate there in the 05 car. Spencer Madden, though, holding down the fort. He starts fifth, someone we're very used to seeing in the SRCA Indy Pro 2000 series. We're pacing through turns 3 and 4 for the final time before going green flag racing on the SRCA Fall 2020 season. Rick Ray Vaughn in control of the field as we get ready to come to the starting line. The flag in the starter's hands. We're waiting. The green flag flies. We're racing at Iowa.
Ray Vaughn going to lead us down into turn 1. Doesn't look like he... Actually, that was just camera angles for 3 wide going into turn 2. Rick Ray Vaughn pulls away by about 3 car lengths.
Down the back stretch, we've already got 3 wide behind him. It's Eric Block, Anthony Pritchett, and Timothy Bates. Block goes up the racetrack, almost gets into Pritchett. They sorted out 3 wide further back. In fact, they're battling right behind him. They almost made contact. John Morgan, Kyle Cuthbertson, and Jeffrey Fisher did, but they sorted out and get racing. Rocco Stallone pulls up into this battle as well. We've got another 7-Eleven machine in the field. That's the number 1 of Ronald Singleton Young.
Further on back, there's actually Kerry Smith contact the 58 into the outside while 24 around.
And we've already got a caution on the speedway, and this is exactly why we want to have this warm-up race for these drivers. We've got Justin Ford all kinds of torn up. Starting in the back doesn't always mean that you're going to miss the first wreck. Kerry Smith in this one as well. Looks like Ian Wilson going to come out of this one with a good bit of damage. We'll, of course, pull up our replay and see what happens to cause all of this on lap number 2 of 30. Ian Wilson just went up the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely not what you want to see. These cars are very easy to damage, and it doesn't take quite a lot. As you see there, the front wing of that machine is gone. The front tire is absolutely destroyed.
And the most of the damage in this incident came for Justin Ford. Oh, who was it that he got into?
At the No, that was further back in the field. That could have been the 05.
But it wasn't Timothy Bates. I know that because Bates was up front. We'll have to look back and see who that might have been. Oh, that's Howie DeTrey gets into here in the number 34. All that side contact, and that's... Oh, it bent the right front. Oh, no, it fixed itself. Sometimes the damage takes a second to calculate on iRacing's end, so you'll see it pop back out. It ends up working out for Howie DeTrey. That car keeps rolling, but for a moment, that right front was completely bent. It does total the 00 of Justin Ford, though, and already cars out of this one. It looks like Elijah Grassi is not going to make the start of this one. Looks like he's got connection issues, so very unfortunate for him. Justin Ford going to take up the next position ahead of him in 23rd. Ian Wilson 22nd. I don't think they'll get back on the racetrack anytime soon. Anthony Emery does make the starting grid in his Renault livery, throwing it back to Fernando Alonso's glory days over at Renault in F1. Rick Ray Vaughn, though, stays on the racetrack along with several others.
Yeah, looking further back in that incident, looked like actually on the first lap, Daniel Falkingham actually spun out and almost hit the inside wall, and that wreck actually happened there where under yellow for was happened right around where he was. So I think he may have actually locked out from that. So I expect to see Daniel making his way up through the field now.
Daniel currently sitting in 14th under this first caution flag of the evening. The good thing is when they have these hiccups and things, we can still run some laps under caution and knock some of these laps out of the way. We're not stuck till caution laps not counting. We can keep advancing the race. I know caution laps not counting is a nice thing sometimes on dirt and such, but man, when you're just trying to get a race going, sometimes it's the worst thing ever.
I agree. Especially like, when lap's not counting, like we'll see tomorrow night in the McConey's setup shop. They don't let caution laps count there. I mean, which is good because short track, those races get done quick. But in a longer race like this, it's dreading. I mean, just even as a driver, because sometimes you just want to get in and get it over with.
So we're coming to lap 7 here under caution. Rick Ray Vaughn still your race leader. Of course, he started on pole. That caution comes out. He holds on to that top position. It looks like these guys are going to have a couple of laps before we get back. Green flag racing. We still have pace car lights on. So we will take a quick break, and we're going to play a message from one of our sponsors, Sound Art of Tucson, and we'll be right back to you guys. Don't go anywhere. This is live coverage of the SRCA Indy Pro 2000 series on Pit Stop TV.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
We welcome you back just in time to resuming coverage now of the SRCA Indy Pro 2000 series. Back green flag racing. The field fans out across the start-finish line and down the front stretch, getting ready to go into turns 1 and 2 on lap 9 of 30. Almost a third of the way through this one, and Rick Ray Vaughn sneaks away with the race lead for now.
And another car were actually in the wall there. No caution. Daniel Falkingham's car is completely destroyed.
And we see the slow number 20 on the inside of the racetrack. That is Dan Marrera with him. We'll see if these guys end up drawing a yellow flag. It doesn't look like it. The leader is coming speeding by them as they sit on the apron now. So we keep green flag racing. Rick Ray Vaughn, your race leader. He's got 4/10 back to teammate Timothy Bates. Spencer Madden in third. And then it's another gap back to a 3-car grouping. Trio, that's the word I'm looking for, of Jeffrey Fisher, Eric Block, and Anthony Pritchett down through turns 1 and 2. They continue to battle.
Yeah, this battle's really tight. I'm actually shocked the yellow didn't come out. Falkingham actually spun out on the apron before he got into pit roads. We'll see him actually...
Whoa, we got wrecking! It's for 4th place, and this is going to involve the guys we were looking at, Eric Block and, let's see, who was the other one? Eric Block, and I lost the name already, Jeffrey Fisher, I do believe it was. And, man, a lot of damage to those machines. Jeffrey Fisher ends up continuing on, but Eric Block's car was definitely, well, it looked more torn up until the damage finished calculating itself. Looks like he's just going to go for a spin. We'll see if he has any wheel damage leaving that incident. Across the front stretch they go, though. They go spinning right in front of Anthony Pritchett. They make contact here out of turn 4, and that gets it all going.
Yeah,
and they just met in the middle, man. Nobody really did anything wrong. They just met in the middle, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, from looking on my end, it looks like they just kind of met in the middle. I wouldn't blame that on anybody there.
No, it looks like just a simple bit of contact. Yeah, one goes right, the other goes left, and they just meet right in the middle. If anything, it would be, I guess, on Eric Block. He kind of faded up the racetrack, I think it was. Or no, so it would have been on Jeffrey Fisher, if anything. Fisher goes up more than Block comes down. And that's really what just starts all of that. So they end up just having a simple spin. Thankfully, you can see right there, yeah, that really is on Jeffrey Fisher, actually, looking back at it now. But thankfully, you can see the right front reattaches itself to the car pretty quickly, and he continues on. I think he loses his front wing, but Eric Block actually looked like he did okay in all of that.
Yeah, looking further back, Daniel Falkingham's actually been driving around in pit road. He's been nailing the wall and everything. Looks like he finally got his car into the pit stall. Looks like he got a quick repair and looks like he's going to be back out there. But that was interesting. I'm not sure if he actually got lapped or anything, but he was all over the place, banging that car all over the pit lane.
He is 4 laps down, and he exits the pit lane back onto the racetrack. The driver's lap down with him. We've got Victor Valley 3 laps down. I'm not sure what happened to the driver of the 88. Justin Ford 3 laps down. Ian Wilson also 3 laps down. We know what happened to those guys. They had that big incident down the front stretch. Dan Morera 2 laps down after some of that most recent contact with Daniel Falkingham. Howie DeTrey is, I believe, our lucky dog under this caution. And Jeffrey Fisher looks like he stays on the lead lap. So, Rick Ray Vaughn continues to lead. It's Bates, Madden, Pritchett, and Cuthbertson in your top 5. What do you say we look and see if we can't talk to one of these guys? And, of course, let's just go ahead and start the season off by talking to Rick Ray Vaughn. And we'll grab him. Rick Ray Vaughn, do you have a copy?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Rick, there's no better way, I guess, to start the season off than talking to you. How are you doing this evening?
Well, I'm pretty pumped, man. I mean, we're leading the race. The Gould Charge is running great. Rick Ravon is out in front. Timothy Bates, my buddy, is behind me in second, and hopefully we can pull this thing off and finish 1-2. That'd be a great way to start the season.
Yeah, so we've seen Spencer Madden and Cole Freilich kind of play Pied Pipers, actually, at the front of the field, control the race. Are you and Timothy trying to do the same thing?
No, not really. We kind of worked together on the start there, on that restart. But other than that, it's just every man for himself. And that's pretty much it. I was never really crazy about these Pro Mazdas, but it seems like the PM18s, they handle a little bit better than the other ones. They seem to be a little bit quicker too. So I'm having a blast out here, but it's a lot more fun, I guess, when you're in clean air. But we'll see what happens. You know, Bates is strong, and Spencer Madden is real tough, and I know Gracia's back there, and Falkingham, and Will Klein. Will Klein's in the race too, so he'll probably be coming up through the field. But starting to run out of time. There's only 30 laps, so I just hope we get to the checker flag first.
Yeah, I mean, we've got SRCA's finest in the field. You mentioned some of those other drivers. Who is your biggest threat in your mind to unseat you here at the lead?
Let me see. Let me take a look at the top. You got Bates, Madden, Pritchett. I don't even know who Pritchett is. Kyle Cuthbertson. I think I heard of this guy. He's actually pretty good. John Morgan. Cole Freilich. Freilich's quick. I don't know where Will Klein is, but normally I would say between him and Elijah Gracia would probably be the two that I would. And Spencer Madden. I mean, these guys are all so quick. It's hard to pick just one, but we're going green here on the next time around. So I'm just going to hope to keep this Gould Charge out in front.
Sounds good. Of course, you are probably Rick Mir's biggest fan, so do him proud this evening. You generally do in these open wheel cars. You're just so good. But, man, best of luck to you. Do you have anyone to shout out real quick?
Yeah, I want to shout out to Rick Mears. Hey, Rick, my buddy, I know that you're watching right now. I am your #1 fan, and I wouldn't let you forget it at Pocono, and I won't let you forget it right now. I know that Rick tunes into all my races. He's my biggest supporter, baby. Yeah, I wish.
All right, Rick, best of luck. Hold that lead. We'll be talking to you shortly.
Thank you, brother.
And that's Rick Ray Vaughn in the number 3, been leading this entire race so far, Trey. It's always good to talk to him, especially to open the season up. We're coming to the green flag, 13 laps to go. Once we do, Rick Ray Vaughn, Timothy Bates, Spencer Madden, Anthony Pridgett, your top 4. We go back green flag racing across the stripe, and we're back at it here in Iowa.
Rick Ray Vaughn surges to the lead about 0.4 of a second. Now nothing to worry about for him as they're 3 wide further back.
Wow, we've got a big wreck. I see Emery involved in more. Big junk down the backstretch.
Daniel Falkingham not having a good night tonight.
Moreira is involved in this along with Emery. We'll get the slow-mo shot to kick things off, and we'll see what happens. Looks like contact maybe on the inside of the 43 and 35. That starts it. That's Don Hunter and Sheldon Lockie that kicked this one off. And Anthony Emery, wrong place at the wrong time, gets caught up in this. A massive, massive impact at the outside wall. Collects Falkingham, collects Block, and it's on from there. Dan Moreira gets into this one as well, loses control, trying to miss all of it, and he's going to slam into the number 44 head on. Wow! That's another big hit right there from Moreira and Emery.
Yeah, thankfully on the sim we won't get to, these drivers won't have to suffer any injuries or feel any pain from these wrecks, but man, it's still hard to watch.
Yeah, you still wins a little bit, don't you, as these guys make those big, heavy hits into the outside wall. And that was a big turnaround there for Emery, and then he gets hit again, man, so far after the fact right there. Moreira just slams into him, and Moreira just lost control of the car, and I think that's really what did Emery in, and he couldn't drive away from that one. As you see him having to tow, Moreira, I think, tries to drive back to the pit lane. It looks like we've lost Anthony Emery. Not sure if he's actually disconnected or not, but it looks like he is no longer sitting in his race car. He's the only one other than Elijah Gracia to, it looks like, disconnect from the session. And meanwhile, the front of the field stays about the same.
Yeah, the front of the field seems about the same. Rick Ray Vaughn still leading. Timothy Bates second. Spencer Madden third. Kyle Cuthbertson fourth and Cole Billiken fifth, so looks like the top 10 looks about the same. So I think as long as, if things keep going the way they are, that might be how it ends up.
Yeah, I don't see too much changing at this point up at the front unless we get something big happen with those front drivers, but they've been so careful the entire time. I'm not so sure we're going to have anything like that happen. But we do want to keep the lights on real quick. We have some wonderful people to thank. Since we are mid-race, we have these cautions, we have the time to do so. We want to start off, of course, with the Sound Auto Tucson. You've already seen their ad played a couple of times this evening. We'll continue to play it throughout the night and throughout the year, actually, as they've come on as a long-term partner of Pit Stop TV, and your picture, your music, quite simply. You provide the image you want, and they will custom create a beautiful framed high-quality canvas with a built-in Bluetooth speaker. With SoundArt, you get the best of both worlds. Visit TucsonSoundArt.com for additional info, and honestly, this is a great product. Think about it. Any picture you want, get them a high-quality enough version of it. They will put it on canvas. They will, to your size, however big you want it, and they will put a Bluetooth speaker in it. It's a really cool concept. It is definitely, I think, a niche thing at first, but once you start to think about it, man, that'd be really cool to have. You had a wedding picture, graduation, a race car, whatever. Literally anything you can think of, they will put it on canvas and put a speaker in it. That's pretty darn cool, and you can play music from it. Honestly, again, a super, super cool concept, and I'm really glad to have them partnered up here with Pit Stop TV. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. At Permanent Makeup in Cryo in Maine, the owner, Ashley Bullier, is a certified micropigmentation specialist who provides professional, safe, and personalized services. If you're looking for the best solutions for your permanent makeup concerns, give them a call today to book a consultation. You can contact Permanent Makeup in Cryo in Maine at permanentmakeupinmaine.com, or call or text them at 207-358-8683. Again, that is 207 77358-8683. If you visit their Facebook page, Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, you'll see that they do monthly giveaways, and of course, you just might win if you submit your free entry. We also want to thank, of course, Whiplash Media, Pitstop TV's new parent organization that specializes in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, iRacing, camera packs, and more. Whiplash Media is also working on advancements in real racing with things such as photography, social media management, and public relations. Go to whiplash-media.com. That all works out just in time for a restart with 7 laps to go. Rick Ray Vaughan still your race leader. We're going at it single file now to limit the cautions. 7 laps to go, and we cross the stripe.
A little bit of a stack up further back in the field, but to Rick Ray Vaughan's concern, that is not his problem, as he is pulled away by about 0.7 of a second.
Looking through some of the field, everybody getting a bit jumbled up right now. You see Aaron Smith getting a run up at Will Klein in the chrome and black Red Bull, number 48. Ahead of them, they're side by side. It's Kiri Smith and Ronald Singleton Young. Some new faces in the league. Glad to see this league growing. The SRCA does a great job of putting on some great action, and you should definitely join. If you have not joined yet, find them on Facebook. Again, Sim Racers Association. Sim Racers. SRCA, I can figure this out. Sim Racers Club of America, there it is. Sim Racers Club of America. It's literally on my screen in front of me, and I still couldn't think about that one. Regardless, 5 laps to go now as they cross the stripe. Madden up into second. Timothy Bates in third. He's got company. Freilich turns him down the backstretch. And that's a big hit.
All right, man.
That's no good at all. I don't think that was intentional by any means at all. Just got up by the wall and probably got pinched and turned down a little bit. We'll get a replay of that so we can actually see what happened there, but definitely not what you want to see with 4 laps to go.
No, it's not intentional at all. He just ends up getting into the right rear there of Timothy Bates, and that's not going to go over well, I'm sure, because coming down to the end of the race, and tempers are going to run high when you get turned, but can definitely say that's not intentional from Cole's point. It's just a bad mistake with 5 laps to go, and you see the contact here, he just about had the room to do it to the outside as well, and he just didn't quite get to the right spot that he needed to be in, ends up making that little bit of contact. And we'll see another look at it from the left front here of Cole Freilich's machine. And you can see he's got just about enough room to make that move up to the top side. He just didn't quite go far enough. You see him correct a couple of times and just ends up getting into the right rear of the 05. And Timothy Bates going to take a hard hit into the inside wall. And tons of parts coming off of that number 05. A big hit for the driver that was up there in tandem with Rick Ray Vaughan. Those couple of friends, couple of teammates are doing a great job so far up to that point, and unfortunately it all comes unraveled for the 05.
With that being said, it is, I think, 4 laps to go, or 3 laps to go now, so I'm not quite sure if we'll go green again, or if that will, or if this will end under caution.
You know what? It's been so long that I don't even recall if we're going to end this race right here or if we'll go back green flag racing. We'll see what happens as they come across the start-finish line. If it does end right now, Rick Ray Vaughan, he just wrapped it up. Not the way you want to wrap it up, of course, especially when it's your teammate getting turned, but you'll take a win any way you can get it, especially to open the season up. Madden Freilich getting top 3s as well, sitting on the podium, not so bad. It looks like we'll stay 3 laps to go. We're going to get at least one more shot at it. We have extended the race for a green-white checkered. So we'll get at least one more shot at this restart. Trey Patton, we saw how that went last night for the Bluegrass iRacing Series. It was exciting.
Oh, most definitely, for sure, and I don't expect anything less from here. We got Spencer Madden and Cole Freilich starting up right on the front row just about, and they're going to definitely put on a challenge for Rick, because you heard Rick say before that Spencer and Cole are quick, so if I'm Rick Ray Vaughan, I'm probably going to be doing a little bit of mirror driving and hoping I can get a good start.
Yeah, at this point, you've just got to be looking in that left front mirror. You cannot let somebody get to the inside of you, or even the outside, really. It seems like the outside is just as serviceable as the inside, so that's something to keep in mind with those two weapons in a good way right behind them. I don't mean weapons because they're dangerous. I mean weapons because they are quick in these Pro 2000s, be it the old Mazda, Pro Mazda as they were called on the service, or these Indy Pro 2000 cars. Spencer and Cole are just good. We've also got Cuthbertson up there, one of Cole's buddies, in the top 5. Anthony Pritchett has held his own the entire race. John Morgan, Ronald Singleton Young, Aaron Smith, Kiri Smith, and Will Klein making their rounds into the top 10. We have Rocco Stallone on 11th. Jeffrey Fisher, after being involved in an incident down the front stretch, he sits 12th, just ahead of Eric Block, the other part of that incident. Sheldon Lockey, Don Hunter rounds out your top 15. It's Howie DeTrey, Ian Wilson, Justin Ford, Victor Valley, and Daniel Falkingham, your top 20. Still 4 laps down, though. Valley is still 3 laps down. Ford still 3 laps down. So they've got a long ways to go, and unfortunately, they're not going to make that back up.
Yeah, unfortunately not in this race. They won't make it back up, but fortunately for them, we have a 50-lap event right after this one. So they have their time to shine in the next one.
We cross the stripe, we should get the 1-to-go signal right there from our starter. And of course, I wish he could hold down the flags for each passing lap, be it 2 to go, 1 to go, etc. But we are doubling up to go back green flag racing. We'll get a white flag in a lap's time and a checkered flag 1 lap after that. Trey, who do you have your money on?
If I was a betting man, I'd say Rick Ray Vaughn, but you can't count Cole and Spencer out of this. I think right now with aggression and, aggression would be the word for it, just the aggression and emotions be running high here, and I think anything can happen, but I think Rick's got it.
We'll see how it all goes down in just a couple of laps' time. We've had some great finishes here in the SRCA Pro 2000 series before. Now the Indy Pro 2000s get their shot. Rick Ray Vaughn gets on the loud pedal. We're back green flag racing, single file through the top 4.
Vaughn got a great start there. As you see Cole Fralick try to work that outside line. Spencer Madden running second. As we got a gaggle of cars. One car, I'm not quite sure who hit the apron there. But here we go. Spencer Madden making a run to Rick Ray Vaughn on the outside. Not quite sure if it's going to get done. Gaggle of cars in the back end. Looks like we're going to take the white flag.
The white flag flies. 1 lap to go for these drivers. Side by side go Ray Vaughn and Madden through 1 and 2. Ray Vaughn holds steady on the bottom. Madden up the racetrack. That may have been his chance. No, he's going to get down to the bottom side. Almost gets to the inside of Rick Ray Vaughn. Through 3 and 4 for the final time in race 1 of 2 on the evening. Rick Ray Vaughn going to hold steady. Rick Ray Vaughn wins race 1 of the evening at Iowa Speedway. Spencer Madden second. Cole Fralick in third. And that
Big
does
jump
it
in the back
for our 30-lapper this evening. We've got massive hits down the backstretch as well.
Yeah, there was a few wrecks during that white flag that we did not see in the frame, but there was probably about 8-9 cars involved during a last lap wreck, as we see a wreck happen right after the finish as well.
And there it was. A big one involving a few of these guys. And Sheldon Lockey was involved, looked like Jeffrey Fisher as well, and some others. I think Victor Valley might have been in that one. We'll try and see if we can get a decent look at it here from one of the blimps. And I think it starts with Fisher. Fisher goes up the racetrack, tags Lockey, and, well, it starts there. Wow,
Yeah, and then
parts
they keep
all over the
going
place.
further on, and then I think they wreck again further on to turn 3. Nonetheless, white flag was out, race is over. Rick Ray Vaughn will win the first race here at Iowa. But stay tuned, we do have another race right after this one.
So we do, of course, have some drivers to speak with after this first race of the evening. Of course, Rick Ray Vaughn wins, and we'll just start off with Rick Ray Vaughn once more. We talked to him under caution not so long ago. Rick, do you have a copy again?
I do. I got a copy. Hey.
Well, look at that. We start the season off by talking to you for our first in-race interview and first post-race interview. It's you as well.
Well, I'm certainly happy to hear that.
So a big win this evening, Iowa, but you still got to try and back it up once more. What was it like coming back into the first race, knowing that you have a do-over, a mulligan later on?
Well, it's the same as any double. It's just you want to win both of them. I mean, everybody out there wants to win both of them, but if we could get one or the other, or just have a good finish, I mean, it's all about the points. Starting off strong is great, but I'll tell you, there was a lot of pressure on it. I didn't expect to get a green white checker, but I guess that's the way they decided to do it. I thought it was a 30-lap race, but we had enough time for a green white checker, and then I saw Spencer Madden coming up on me. I was like, oh, I got to hold this guy back because Spencer's so, he's just so quick, and he's a smart racer too. So I had my hands full for those last couple laps.
Yeah, what was your biggest worry as you saw Spencer Madden in your mirror trying to put a move on you there on the last lap?
Spencer Madden.
Well, all right, I'll be more specific. Where did you think he was going to go? What was going through your mind down the backstretch? Where were you trying to protect the most?
The bottom side, because on cold tires, they stick pretty good, and the bottom side is the way to go. To really, if you try to run up top, it's almost impossible. The guy who's underneath you is just going to drive right by you. So it was just really all about protecting that bottom lane.
We end up doing just that. Looking forward to race number 2 now. Can you back it up?
I don't know, man. It's a strong field, and I'll tell you, if we get some green flag laps going, these guys are going to be all around me like fireflies. So it's not going to be, it was kind of a blessing with these yellows because it enabled me to get a shot and, get a little bit of a lead. A few laps later, they'd reel me in, and then the yellow come out. So, this one was kind of a gift. I really don't consider it. I don't think I'm going to have such a great race in race number 2, but hey, we got our fingers crossed and we're going to do our best.
Hey, absolutely. I mean, it's a great run to open up the season, and I'm sure you can back it up with another great run. Obviously, no clue what's going to happen in those 50 laps coming up. Do you think you'll get all 50 laps in?
You mean without wrecking?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I hope so. I hope that we get a nice long green flag run in. This way, the guys can actually do some racing rather than just a restart yellow. I'll go for the pole position and go for the lead, and it depends on. We'll see how things play out. Who's going to be up there with me? There's going to be a lot of Dyson, and if we get some green flag laps in race number 2, there's going to be some green flag racing, and there's no telling what's going to happen.
Hey, fair enough. Before we let you go this evening, Rick, I mean, I'm sure we'll be talking to you in a little while, but who do you have to thank? Who makes it happen for you at Rick Ravon Racing?
Rick Ravon Racing. Rick Mears makes it happen. Yeah, that's right. Rick, he's my buddy. I'm on the phone with him right now. He's congratulating me. He taught me everything I know, but he didn't teach me everything he knows. But no, I'm only kidding. Thanks to Elijah Gracia. Thanks to Pit Stop TV and you guys for broadcasting the race. And thanks to all the drivers out there who participate in this great league. The SRCA is a wonderful league, and thanks to Elijah for it. And thanks to my wife and my daughters and the Lord Jesus. And then just thank you to everybody, all the fans out there watching. I love you. I love you.
Well, they love you as well, Rick. You're always a fan favorite to talk to. I'm sure we'll be talking to you at some point in this second race this evening, so watch out for us. We'll be talking to you soon.
I certainly hope so. Looking forward to it, brother. Thank you.
Best of luck to you out there. That's Rick Ravon winning the first race of the evening. Trey Patton, I'm just going to give you free reign. We've got a lot of drivers up there that we can talk to, and we're just going to get one more in here before we switch to our second race of the evening. Who do you want to talk to? Who's on your mind?
Let's bring Cole Freilich in here.
Sounds good. We'll go ahead and grab Cole Freilich. And you know what? I'll just let you take it away.
Hey, Cole, it's Trey. You got a copy, man?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Didn't think I'd be back here so soon.
Hey, man. So you finished third. So what happened there with Timothy Bates, man?
I was trying to get him behind Spencer, pulled high, and Timothy kind of slid up trying to get the draft off of Spencer, and it just was a slight misjudgment. I hit him by just about an inch there. I looked at the replay. Just racing deal. I mean, we were all trying to get Rick's draft there towards the end, but hard racing, and it should be about the same way in the second race.
So on that final, on that green-white checker, did you think you had any shot for the win there, or did you think Rick had it?
I knew with how early Rick went that it was going to be difficult to catch him. I think if Spencer wasn't there, I probably could have done something. But just the way Spencer was following Rick down there, I think my line would have worked better. But, I mean, that's just in theory. I definitely think, though, race 2, we got a good shot. I mean, I nearly won one of these last season, so hopefully we can get a dual win finally. I haven't won since Pocono last season, so I'd like to pick up another victory here.
All right, man. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank that makes it happen for you?
Yeah, I just want to thank Spencer. He painted up this yellow car. I got to thank Kyle for putting his sponsorship on it. I know it looks like a Rowdy Energy logo. It's Racing Nation TV on YouTube. Check it out. And just going to shout out my Twitch stream, Slothy Racing. If anybody wants to check that out, I do streams all throughout the week. So go check that out if you like racing. And just hope you enjoy, or hope everybody enjoys the show and race too.
All right, man. Hopefully we'll be talking to you next one. Good luck.
All right, thanks, man.
All right, Vince, that is Cole Freilich, our third place finisher.
And we thank Cole for his time, of course. We'll let him get back up there and speak with his team post-race. And, man, of course, we've had him. He's a familiar name. We've had him a million times here on Pit Stop TV. But he wants to get back to his racing days. So don't know when we'll see him back in the booth, if we'll see him back in the booth. But, hey, he's always more than welcome to. We do have some race results from this first race on the evening to go over. Trey Patton and, of course, Rick Ray Vaughn, we already talked about it, winning this first event of the evening. Spencer Madden, second place. Cole Freilich follows him up in third. It's Kyle Cuthbertson, Will Klein, John Morgan, Aaron Smith, Ronald Singleton Young, Anthony Pritchett, and Rocco Stallone, your top 10.
Excuse me. And finishing 11th, we have Eric Block, Ian Wilson in 12th, Kiri Smith 13th, Howie DeTrey 14th, Sheldon Lockey 15th, Jeffrey Fisher 16th, 17th we have Don Hunter, Victor Valley 18th, Timothy Bates 19th, and Justin Ford 20th. And rounding out our field, we have Daniel Falkingham, in 21st, Anthony Emery 22nd, Dan Marias 23rd, and Elijah Gracia did not start the race.
And so there you have it, our 24-car field in race number 1. We'll see how many we take over to race number 2. Don't go anywhere. We have continuing coverage from Iowa Speedway here shortly. We've got 50 laps on tap for race 2. We'll have it all for you soon. This is Pit Stop TV with live coverage of the SRCA Indy Pro 2000 series. We'll be right back to you.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
And welcome back, race fans, to Pit Stop TV. We're back at Iowa Speedway. We've got more SRCA action coming right to you, hot from the griddle. Eric Block now fastest in qualifying. Timothy Bates backs him up in second place currently. Kyle Cuthbertson, Cole Freilich third and fourth. Jeffrey Fisher now moves Freilich back to fifth. And we'll see how the rest of these qualifying times sit. Rick Ray Vaughn on the racetrack, of course, he went to pole last time around. He finishes his first lap. We'll see what he does on lap number 2.
Just like I said, last qualifying session, I expect Ray Vaughn to go straight to the top of the board. He's going into turn 2 right now for his. Find out.
There it is. One more time. Goes even faster now. The track is cooling a bit, and these guys have a bit more grip, so they're going to go a bit faster. Spencer Madden has made a paint scheme switch. We've now got him... Oh.
Yeah, different look on that race car for sure. Looks like he clips the grass there, so that's going to mess up his qualifying time, but it still allotted him P2. Watching Spencer right here, and he nails the wall upside down. So currently right now our running order in qualifying: Rick Ray Vaughn first, Spencer Madden second, Eric Block third, Spencer Owens in fourth, Sheldon Lockey in fifth, Timothy Bates sixth, Kyle Cuthbertson seventh, Daniel Falkingham eighth, Jeffrey Fisher ninth, and Cole Freilich rounds out our top 10. John Morgan is 11th right now, Rocco Stallone 12th, Ronald Singleton Young 13th, Aaron Smith 14th, Kerry Smith 15th, Victor Valley on track currently 16th, Richard Coulomby, sorry about that, man, 17th, Ian Wilson 18th, Justin Ford 19th, Will Klein 20th. We have 2 cars that have yet to qualify.
Travis Bennett connects to the session. That's a name we didn't see in race number 1. We've got a few guys out here that did not race in number 1, which means a few guys that raced in race number 1 are not here for race number 2. Some of the names that I didn't see earlier: Travis Bennett, as I already mentioned. I saw some more. Where did they go? Let's see. I think it was toward the top. Yeah, Spencer Owens. We didn't see him in the first race. I think that's it that we have coming into the second race. Oh, Richard Coulomb as well. That we have coming into this first race, or second race rather, that was not in the first one. I don't know exactly who we lost, but looks like then we lost 5 drivers, I think. I don't see Howie Trey yet, so that's one of them. But regardless, we have 50 laps on tap this second time around. Rick Ray Vaughn, of course, on top. He's pretty used to being up in pole position. We'll see if he can hang on to it this time around as well. Spencer Madden, second place. Eric Block in third. Spencer Owens in fourth. Sheldon Lockey, fifth.
Bates is sixth. Kyle Cuthbertson 7th, Falkingham 8th, Jeffrey Fisher 9th, and Cole Freilich rounds out our top 10 as qualifying comes to a stop. We will go down our rest of the grid here.
Starting up front, we've got, of course, Rick Ray Vaughn and Spencer Madden. Go back to row number 2, and you've got Eric Block and Spencer Owens, 3rd and 4th. Then it's Sheldon Lockey, 5th. Timothy Bates in 6th. Kyle Cuthbertson in 7th. Daniel Falkingham in 8th. Jeffrey Fisher in 9th. And Cole Freilich rounds out the top 10.
Starting 11th, we have John Morgan, Rocco Stallone in 11th. In 12th, I'm sorry. Ronald Singleton Young in 13th. Aaron Smith 14th. Kerry Smith 15th. Victor Valley 16th. Richard Coulomb 17th, Ian Wilson 18th, Justin Ford 19th, and Will Klein, our last qualifier, will be 20th. Elijah Gracia starting 21st, and Travis Bennett will round out our field in 22nd.
And we'll see if Elijah's connection issues subside or if he stays sidelined for the evening. It looks like it's going to be the latter of those two. So we want to go back and look at the differences between these cars as we did earlier, and you can see some of those differences there. Going from the 240 horsepower Mazda rotary engine to a 2-liter, 275 horsepower Mazda motor. I believe before liter. I could be totally wrong. I actually didn't think to look that part up. I just looked up the specs. I probably should have looked up the cylinder count. I do believe it's an either an inline 4 or inline 6, one of the two. But 1310s on the front, 1312s on the rear, 1 inch wider than what we had on the previous car with 13.9s and 13.11s. But the gearboxes stay the same.
Yeah, thinking on it, I think it is an inline 4. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that, but I think it is.
Yeah, I would imagine so, that it's an inline 4, probably close to what you would see in your Mazda Miata, the MX-5. So, regardless, it puts down some decent power. I think that's probably right in line with what my 09 Lancer puts out. So, I mean, I think that's more than what my Lancer puts out, and it's so much less weight. I mean, it is a race car for sure. Definitely a solid little machine.
Yeah, most definitely. Cars are off the pit lane, going down the back straightaway. We are pacing here at Iowa. These cars are most definitely race cars, to say the least, for sure. But what do you expect coming into this race from what we saw the last race?
Well, definitely, we've got some lower track temps, and it's going to allow these guys to do a bit more as far as aggressive moves for positions here and there. We'll see how they make use of that exactly, but basically they just got more grip, and they're going to be going a little bit faster, as we saw Rick Ray Vaughn go faster in qualifying. They're just going to be faster. They're going to make more moves, I think, than we saw in race number 1. The car is going to be a little easier to drive, but it's also going to lead, like I said, to a bit more moves, more big moves, big money sends off onto the inside or what have you, and we could have more incidents as a result. We'll have to wait and see as time will tell, though. Some actually, there's a decimal in there. I was going to say some interesting wins, but then I quickly noticed there was a decimal in between the 4 and 7 right now. Otherwise, 47 miles an hour, that would be rather impressive. But we've got 50 laps on tap here. Trey Patton cannot wait to get it going. It's officially the second race of the SRCA Fall 2020 season, and this Indy Pro 2000 series kicking off with a bang already this evening. We're getting ready to come to the green flag. The pace car turns left back onto pit road, and we go back green flag racing at Iowa Speedway.
Ray Vaughn gets a good jump, as you see. I'm not quite sure. Already 3 wide down to the bottom going into turn 1. Not quite sure who that is.
We got 4 wide.
4 wide further back in the field, but nonetheless, Rick Ray Vaughn leading us through. Look at this gaggle of cars. This is
cars every which way, and they're all dodging, trying to make some passes here on these first couple of laps. The best time to do it, but Rick Ray Vaughn up front leads the first lap. Spencer Madden all over his gearbox. He looks high, he looks low, can't do anything with it. They're side by side further back. That car on the outside looks like it's Spencer Owens. He gets shuffled out of position. He's got Eric Block falling back with him. Cole Freilich down to the bottom side underneath him, and they've got more just trying to freight train on the bottom side. They continue to battle for the lead. Rick Ray Vaughn continues to lead, now battle for second place.
Yeah, Sheldon Lockie goes straight to the top side. Didn't really get the move he wanted there as he falls in tow behind Spencer Madden. Look at this gaggle of cars. What a pack. All over the place, trying to find the best optimum place for grip. And looks like we have a 3-car breakaway right now as Rick Ray Vaughn slices down to the bottom of the track, goes back up high to block, and takes the bottom.
We had some contact right there. Some cars ducked out of this battle a little ways further back. Looks like it's really going to get going with Cuthbertson, Bates, and Stallone back here. Man, these guys are starting to get pretty darn testy. Timothy Bates, the purple and green machine, it looks like. And, man, may as well just put Hulk on the hood and call it a day, or I guess side pods, and call it a day. He's got Cuthbertson up front of him, and they were almost making contact a lap or so ago. Almost more contact. Freilich and Owens side by side into 3.
Yeah, they got really close there. Just a lot of action going around that Timothy Bates' machine as we see the there's actually a pass for the lead right now. Spencer Madden to the point here. Rick Ray Vaughn right on his side here, almost 3 wide going for the lead. Daniel Falkingham up in the top 5 now.
Falkingham making his comeback in contact. Sheldon Lucky. That's what we call a low percentage move.
And they're wrecking more. Cars all over the place. Cole Freilich involved.
Kerry Smith with some damage. Oh, man. It's a big one down the front stretch. Woo, man. We pick up right where we left off. Some big incidents here, and hey, you see it right there. That's when it was already happening. So we'll go back a little bit further and get a look at how this all builds up. So Spencer Owens on the top side, he, I think, senses where this is all going and backs out, runs the top, tries to get out of this one. But then you're going to see Sheldon Lockie in the black 43 on the bottom side. He's going to actually make contact here with Cole Freilich when Cole goes to the top. They get 3 wide, or no, sorry, backwards. He gets into Falkingham, then ricochets down into Freilich on the bottom. And oh, Freilich just never held the brakes.
Yeah, I think if he would have held the brakes still, he would have slid up the track a little bit.
He probably would have, but he might have been able to spare, I think, Anthony Pritchett right there. No, actually, might have been, that was Singleton Young, so apologies there. But, man, that's an unfortunate one down the front stretch. I mean, that's a really big incident on lap, what was that, 5, 6?
Yeah, I believe that was lap 6 or 7, yeah. Lots of aggressive driving. I mean, I didn't expect anything less, just went 3 wide there. Falkingham came down. Probably didn't expect Cole to be right there. Or not Cole. Was that Cole? I honestly, my mind and names, I'm trying to get everything used together here. Yeah, I don't think he was really looking to see Lockie that close and then, veered down the track. And fortunately, that is why we are under caution right now. But, you see, we've been seeing 3 and 4 wide throughout this field all day. All day. We're only 9 laps in. But, yeah, holding the brake there, I don't think would have savored really anybody. It could have. It had been really close because whether he held the brake or not, he still would have locked up and went up the track.
Certainly a big one either way. Spencer Madden, now our race leader. Daniel Falkingham sneaks up into second place despite that contact with Sheldon Lockie. Rick Rivon then falls into third. Kyle Cuthbertson in fourth. And, man, we saw him kind of sneak around in that first race, have some moments, get up there, and really weren't expecting, or didn't really know what to expect with him at all going into this event, be it race 1 or race 2. But right now, holding his own in fourth. I think that's where he finished in that first race as well. Eric Block up there in the top 5 with him. We know Block was fast in race 1 until he got taken out. Timothy Bates, Jeffrey Fisher, Aaron Smith, Rocco Stallone, and John Morgan, the rest of your top 10.
Definitely some names up front in this top 10 that we did not see in the last race. Mind you, we still have like 40 laps to go, so a lot can happen, a lot more names can pop up, and a lot more names can disappear. Daniel Falkingham actually up in second right now. Rick Ray Vaughn fell back to third. So that's something different we saw from the last race. I expect to see Rick try to do some aggressive moving to get back to the point.
Yeah, you asked me what we'd see different from race number 1 to race number 2. Already, it changed for the race lead that we did not see in race number 1. So there's your first difference, Mr. Trey Patton, and I think they're only going to grow in numbers. We've got one more pace lap, it looks like, before we double up. So we'll go ahead and run through the entire field as they stand. We've already gone through the top 10 a couple times. Madden, Falkingham, Rayvon, Cuthbertson, Block, your top 5. Then it's Timothy Bates, Jeffrey Fisher, Aaron Smith, Rocco Stallone, and John Morgan, your top 10. But further back is where we get guys like Ian Wilson, Kerry Smith, Victor Valley, Ronald Singleton Young, Spencer Owens in 15th, Sheldon Lockie in 16th, then it's Justin Ford, Will Klein, Travis Bennett making his first start of the season. I mean, he's only down the one race from earlier, and then Cole Freilich, technically the last car we have running, but in 20th ahead of just Elijah Gracia and Richard Coulomb. So neither one of those cars making the start of the race. Bennett did, and Freilich, well, now 4 laps down. Bennett is 1 lap down. Not sure how that'll happen, but we'll see if he can get that lap back over the course of the remaining, let's see, we've got 38 laps now.
Yeah, I believe that would be correct. 38 laps to go at the stripe. So looking further back through the field and just pointing out what Rick said earlier, so do you Will Klein, he's last car in the lead lap right now. Do you think Will Klein is kind of just maybe trying to play that strategy play of, staying in the back and letting things play out? Maybe trying to work his way up later in the race, or?
Only time will tell, and we'll see how it all works out for him on this restart. He comes to this restart in 18th. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing as we cross from lap 12 to lap 13 already. Spencer Madden on the loud pedal. Green flag racing once again at Iowa side by side for 2nd place.
What a jump for Spencer Madden. As you see, he's almost got about a half a second lead. We see Folkingham go from the top to the bottom, following suit right behind Rick Ray Vaughn as he falls into the 3rd position. Rick Ray Vaughn following in the tire tracks of Spencer Madden, trying to get that lead back.
Meanwhile, Eric Block gets clear of Kyle Cuthbertson for 4th. They battle behind. Timothy Bates on the outside. Jeffrey Fisher on the inside. Aaron Smith getting into this battle. He's currently in 8th spot, and he wants to get somewhere on this restart. We'll see if he can gain anything. I mean, he's been having a decent night. Not so great in that first race, but currently 8th after starting 14th. He crosses Jeffrey Fisher up, and he's going to go low to try and get 7th.
It definitely has further. We got a car stopped on the bottom. Not quite sure who that was, but we are actually under caution.
He is, well, the right front's not connected anymore. The PFC brake calipers, you can see through the wheel, which you usually can't see from the onboard like this. So this is big damage here for Will Klein, and we'll see what happens to the driver of the number 48. Oh, this happened the previous lap, and he's got a lot of damage to the right side of that car.
Like I saw a mark on the wall somewhere.
And Wilson gets into him. Oh, man.
Yeah, just very unfortunate for Will Klein. We were just talking about him, wondering what he was doing, and unfortunately for Will now, that tire is going all over the place.
It's a work in progress.
iRacing's damage model, they're working on getting it. Here's another onboard of that, and just almost goes into the fence. Very unfortunate for Will Klein.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Will Klein was just kind of minding his own up top, and unfortunately just gets hit. That's all there is to it.
A fallen victim to circumstance or of unfortunate circumstance, rather. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, that it does. We'll get one more look at what happens here. So you're going to see the field come into screen from the right. Here we go. And you're going to see the contact a little further back. There it is, up into the wall. And he just continues on the wall. We did have one spinner to the inside. Looks like that was Travis Bennett.
Yeah, Travis Bennett, I believe he is back on the lead lap now. As we saw, he was 1 lap down. As long as he's not does not have any damage on that race car, I think he'll be good to go.
So as things continue on, we're now through, well, coming to the completion of lap 17 of 50. We've had a pace car change. Looks like we had to swap those out. I don't know if they were low on fuel, tires, or whatever. We've gone from the pace truck to the pace Mustang. And that Ford Mustang looking pretty good front of the field. Spencer Madden, though, just wants it gone. He's led now, I think, most of this race, just about half of this race anyways, after Rick Ray Vaughn lost that lead.
Yeah, Rick Ray Vaughn and Daniel Falkingham, I figured they'd be putting on a good charge for Spencer, but Spencer's holding up front there behind that Ford Mustang pace car, as you mentioned. I don't think I've actually ever seen the pace car swap mid-race like that before.
So it looks like we might have a little bit of time. We're going to step aside for just a moment, play an ad from one of our sponsors, Sound Art of Tucson, and we'll be right back to you.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pit Stop TV. It's lap 20 of 50, coming to 21 of 50. Spencer Madden still in control. We'll see if he hangs on to it. Start your bets now in the chat, be it on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, and we'll see who would win the jackpot. Of course, nothing on the line. We're not going to pay you, but as these guys get ready to restart, Spencer Madden in control, lap 21 now of lap 50. Ray Vaughn gets down to the bottom in front of Falkingham.
Yeah, another great start executed by Spencer Madden. Rick Ray Vaughn, good on the timing to fall down right in front of Rick Ray Vaughn there. I mean, in front of Falkingham. As we see Kyle Cuthbertson making a run to the inside on Falkingham for third. Almost some contact. We got a car in the wall. Two cars.
Oh, it's Timothy Bates in the wall hard.
All right, man.
Car contact. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars involved in that one.
John Morgan in this. Jeffrey Fisher. Looks like Spencer Owens may have just stopped, actually. I think he misses this, doesn't get involved, but Jeffrey Fisher in it, Timothy Bates, John Morgan. Looks like we might have had some others maybe involved. We'll get a replay as to what happens down the front stretch. Man, we've had some big ones this evening, and this one following suit. Timothy Bates was up there towards the front, looks like about 7th place or so. And we'll see where it all starts. I think it starts with Jeffrey Fisher up ahead. Yeah, he just gets into the wall. And that's not the first mistake we've seen out of that 06 tonight.
Yeah, not quite sure if he may have just gotten tied off the corner or maybe gotten to the gas at the wrong point. I mean, which would cause the car to get a little tight. Just maybe got it out of the groove. Then unfortunately, cars behind just had nowhere to go and got caught up in that one.
From the blimp this time, we'll see what happens for Jeffrey Fisher. I mean, he's in behind a car, so the car is going to get tight in behind Eric Block, and yep, he ends up collecting Timothy Bates, and wow, man. John Morgan just piles in. The rest of the field did a great job of missing all of them. They had to thread the needle there, but man, John Morgan just nowhere to go. And man, that's unfortunate to see for John Morgan, because he's just quietly one of those guys you want to pull for, and generally has some pretty good races. And now, I mean, he's heavily involved in this.
Looking on the onboard of John Morgan, so we'll see exactly what happened through his cockpit. You see the wrecking right in front of him. Oh, it just came right. Fisher came right down, just right into him. Had nowhere to go from that.
I'll tell you what, that was a spectacular little wheelie there for Timothy Bates. I want to get a shot of that from his onboard as well. This is going to be the whole restart for Mr. Bates. You can see everything he was doing to try and position himself decently. And this first lap, these first couple of corners, everything's nice and normal, nice and calm. They get mostly single file up there. And then you're just going to see Jeffrey Fisher just up underneath the gearbox there of Eric Block and just gets tight up the racetrack and nowhere for Timothy to go. That's so reminiscent to me of that incident we had in the IndyCar race here a month or so ago. I forget, what was it, Gabby Chavez?
I honestly wouldn't.
Emerson, you're here. Who was it again?
Was it
Chavez. Who was it?
Pato Award or
that wreck where, I mean, literally a carbon copy of this. A car almost went up into the stands.
Like in SRCA again, or like actual IndyCar?
IndyCar.
It might have actually. Was it Pato?
Colton Herta.
Colton Herta, that's yes.
Ryan
yes.
Colton
Herta, thank you.
Okay, right.
Yeah, that's really reminiscent of that incident there. I mean, just nowhere for Timothy to go, and again, just hops to the left rear and up into the wall, almost into the catch fence. We'll see it again, this time real speed, and I mean, he was so close to being up in that catch fence. Thankfully on iRacing, we don't have to worry about it if he does, but man, that's just almost a carbon copy of what happened. Now, that was under caution in the real IndyCar race here, Iowa. This one at full speed, which could have made it even worse. Thankfully, again, we don't have to worry about the repercussions if a car does get up there, but still, you don't want to see it.
Yeah, definitely something you don't want to see. And that was one heck of a wheelie, though, man. Definitely got quite a bit of airtime. Might want to put my Nitro Circus or something on that thing, get some style points.
It's my job as the lead, the production here, to judge that joke. I'm gonna have to give it, since we're talking Nitro Circus and all, 2 out of 10. I'm very sorry.
Oh man, well I tried.
Hey, fair enough. You got to make the most out of these cautions, and man, we're getting closer and closer to that time limit. I believe the time limit is going to run out around 8:50 p.m. We'll see when exactly we tick over into no man's land where this race finishes up. But we're getting closer and closer, and these caution laps are not helping.
Yeah, caution laps, especially in a time limit race, are not your friend. I know Spencer Madden is probably dreading these caution laps, but then again, they might be his friend right now because they are helping him maintain the lead as the clock's ticking down.
So we'll go back green flag racing here shortly. Spencer Madden, our race leader. Rick Ray Vaughn in second. It's Falkingham, Cuthbertson, Block, Smith, Stallone, Valley, and Singleton Young, the rest of our top 10. The green flag going to fly here shortly. Again, the 6 car of Madden in control fires off immediately. A bit of a sag up on the top side, but they continue on.
Yeah, good start. Rick Ray Vaughn clears Daniel Falkingham. Just about almost some contact there. Them battling out like that's just going to give Spencer Madden more of a push to pull away. As we look further behind, we got a gaggle of cars going up there. Kerry Smith running on the bottom side there. I'm not quite... yellow car. I'm not... Aaron Smith there. Kerry Smith and Aaron Smith running side by side there for the time being, making a run up to Rick Ray Vaughn here as we see Falkingham fall back into third place.
Madden trying to pull away with the lead. Falkingham in pursuit now of Rick Ray Vaughn, about even spacing amongst the top 3. Here comes Aaron Smith, the yellow number 70. It's a color and a car that we're used to seeing. He goes a 20.681, and he is on the charge up to the front. 4 cars dancing and prancing down the backstretch. We're going to see who does what through 3 and 4. They all kind of single file back out.
Yeah, you can put a blanket over this top 3, almost the top 4. Rick Ray Vaughn straight to the side pod, of Spencer Madden, working that high side, doesn't quite get it done. There's Aaron Smith right in the mix now.
From a 6.81 to a 6.67 goes Smith, and he's just getting faster now. He's tucked up underneath race leader Spencer Madden and to the inside of Rick Ray Vaughn. Here comes fifth place Kyle Cuthbertson into the battle. 5 cars going for the race lead. Side by side go Ray Vaughn and Madden across the stripe, Falkingham and Smith behind them. Cuthbertson in 5th, as I mentioned. 6th and 7th belong to Kerry Smith and Eric Block. They continue to race it out side by side. Further back, Sheldon Lockey in 8th. Travis Bennett recovers to 9th, and a similar paint scheme to him, identical actually, as Rocco Stallone to his outside.
Yeah, almost 3 wide for the lead up in the front. Almost, yeah, about 3 wide going to turn 1. Spencer Madden still on the point. Aaron Smith, Rick Ray Vaughn still battling for that second spot. Falkingham right behind, and Cuthbertson right behind him. Side by side going into turn 3. Falkingham still in 4th place, going to pass for 3rd. Rick Ray Vaughn trying to make that outside line work, but not quite getting it to work to his advantage quite yet.
This lead group bunching up. You see now 8 cars in this lead pack, stretching all the way back to Sheldon Lockey in 8th place. They go 3 wide for moments again. Madden's holding strong on the bottom side, holding that race lead. Ray Vaughn in the 2nd lane, and Falkingham periodically goes to the very top side on entry, then back down to the 2nd lane in the corner. That allows Aaron Smith to stay right on that yellow line. Ray Vaughn looks low, then he has to settle for the top side. He gets a run at Madden, can't clear him, can't even draw even down the backstretch.
Yeah, I think as long as Spencer Madden holds that bottom, I don't think anybody will be getting by him unless he gets a heck of a run. As we see, almost 3 wide again. Great racing as we're seeing up front. Spencer Madden. Oh, contact! Rick Ray Vaughn goes up the racetrack. Way to keep a handle on that race car as he still maintains and probably falls back to about the 5th spot.
Rick saves it. That puts Falkingham now in 2nd place. Aaron Smith still on the bottom side, trying to take first away. He got his nose down there, but Spencer Madden said, nope, not today. And he closes that door. That allows now Kerry Smith to enter this battle. Smith side by side with Smith out of turn number 2. Falkingham back to the top side of Madden.
Yeah, definitely a heck of a battle going for the lead. Rick Ray Vaughn already back up into the mix. 3 wide, almost contact. Rick Ray Vaughn back into the 4th place. Falkingham onto the top side.
More contact. Block and Smith get into it a little further back. The top 4 is still racing at it. Tooth and nail. Madden, Falkingham, Smith, and now Ray Vaughn in 4th.
Yeah, Ray Vaughn did a heck of a job trying to saving that car earlier, as he's now back into the 4th place. Spencer Madden still holding on the lead with a hard charging, probably 5 cars behind him.
It's an 8-car group here within a second of one another. Side by side for 2nd are Aaron Smith and Daniel Falkingham. Now Ray Vaughn to the top side. He settles for 4th for now. Drops back in behind. We're coming to 11 laps to go. This time by the stripe. Emerson Ardon's working his fingertips out on social media this evening. 3 wide for 2nd place. Goes Smith, Falkingham, and Ray Vaughn. Ray Vaughn again has to back out. That top side is not kind.
Yeah, that top side is not coming into play here. I figured there's more grip in the... Later, we got a car.
Oh, a yellow.
Singleton Young around single car incident. Oh man, that was exciting, and looks like we're gonna rack them and stack them again.
We'll see what happens, and a bit of contact. That was contact with it looked like John Morgan that sends the number 1 car for a spin. And hopefully he doesn't forget the wash cycles all before that, but the spin cycle, man, he's got that part down. A little bit of, contact there, and it just kind of reacts weirdly and just sends him around real quick, loads up the left front and spins around. Thankfully, doesn't hit anything or anyone after that. Keeps the car in one piece, and we continue racing. So Trey, we'll give it over to you with a message from our sponsors.
First up, we have 2000's Sound Art. Your picture, your music. You provide the image you want, and they will create a beautiful, framed, high-quality canvas with a built-in Bluetooth speaker. With Sound Art, you get the best of both worlds. Visit TucsonSoundArt.com for additional information. Next up, we have Permanent Makeup in Maine. When it comes to your appearance, you deserve the best care that money can buy. At Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, the owner, Ashley Boyer, is a certified micropigmentation specialist who provides professional, safe, and personalized services. If you're looking for the best solutions for your PMU concerns, give them a call today to book a consultation. You can contact them at permanentmakeupinmaine.com or call or give them a text at 207-358-8683. Again, that number is 207-358-8683. 8683. If you go to their Facebook page, Permanent Makeup and Cryo in Maine, if you're looking that up, that is an ampersand for and. We'll see that they do monthly giveaways. If you submit your entry, who knows, you might win. We also want to give a shout out to our parent organization, Whiplash Media. Pit Stops TV new parent organization, Whiplash Media, specializes in various sim racing resources, including paint schemes, stream overlays, and iRacing camera packs, and more. Whiplash Media is also working on its presence in real racing. As we mentioned before, Trey Shuttlesworth did some photography for Whiplash Media last week at Jennerstown, and we'll be doing that again this weekend at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and probably as well as Myrtle Beach. They also do social media management and public relations. For information, go to whiplash-media.com.
You mentioned the photography getting going. We also have some social media opportunities this weekend. David Levine Racing will be making their return to the racetrack in racing action. Have not been in a race since the Champ Car, 12 Hours of South Course back in March. That was a fun one to be there for. That's where we stretched our legs as Whiplash Media. But this weekend, it's the Lucky Dog Racing League at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Cannot wait to work with David and his team this weekend. We're looking forward to it. That number 259 Miata in prime condition after a few changes here and there to hardware in that car, of course. Some things getting changed out for the better, some new brakes, a new hood, and more. So we can't wait to see what his 90 Miata does. It's one of the older ones, and I mean, it's got the flip-up lights, man. It's the real deal. It's a really cool car. He's got help from HMS Motorsport, Fuel Clothing, and more. It's a really good piece that David's put together. I can't wait to see how it does at Charlotte this weekend. He's been testing it at VIR. In fact, he and some of the drivers in that car were racing last weekend at the 24 Hours of VIR, and that was with HMS Motorsport. Unfortunately, we're still trying to get in on that deal for social media for them. They're some good friends of ours, though. But, man, they did a great job this past weekend getting the car repaired when it needed to be towards the start, and then just treating it like a 24-hour race, a sheer endurance race, and making it come back through the field. And this weekend, David's got 17 hours of total racing. That is 4 on Friday night, 3 on Saturday morning, and then 10 hours straight on Sunday. Be getting a mix of drivers in there. David Levine, Brian Miller, some others. I think Colin Garrett in the car as well. And as he's not racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this weekend down at Daytona, they've got Brandon Godovic in that car this weekend. A lot of cool things coming together at Charlotte this weekend. Cannot wait to be there.
Yeah, I wish I was going to be able to make it down, but, unfortunately, due to circumstance, I cannot do that. But nonetheless, we will have coverage, as I will see on social media and everything. But regardless, Pit Stop TV will still provide action for us. So there's going to be a lot of racing going on this weekend as we're about to go green with 5 laps to go.
That's right. Make sure you come back tomorrow with the McConing Setup Shop Summer Tour wrapping up their summer tour at Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. Spencer Madden, your race leader, coming to 5 laps to go. Daniel Falkingham second, Aaron Smith third. We're back Green Flag Racing. 5 laps left on the docket. Falkingham gets down to the bottom side.
Yeah, that was a close call trying to get down to the bottom there. Almost took off the nose of Aaron Smith. Rick Ray Vaughn trying to work that outside. Not quite sure if he's going to be able to get it done. He's going to have to settle for 4th place right now as we go on to turn 3. Spencer Madden still on the point.
They're racing it out for a second, and Falkingham back down to the bottom side. Sheldon Lockie in this one as well. Here comes Kyle Cuthbertson, even single file into 1. They don't stay that way. Falkingham gets crossed up. Contact! Ray Vaughn sends him around. A big wreck in turn 2. Oh, man.
Very unfortunate. Daniel Falkingham was having such a good race. I'm sure Rick didn't do that on purpose.
No, it's the same thing as we saw Jeffrey Fisher do a little while ago, and Falkingham immediately leaves the session. He's not happy about that one, and it's one of those things where, unfortunately, the guy who gets into the victim ends up getting away scot-free. I mean, it's just a small mistake there for Rick Ray Vaughn, and just pushes up the racetrack on those, now older tires. He's not pitted at all in this race, and unfortunately gets into the left rear of Daniel Falkingham, sends the number 20 around. Now, worth mentioning, we're sitting right at our time limit here. We're butting right up to it. we'll see this time around if we extend the race or green, white, checkered or not. We know we have those in the bank. It's a matter of how much time we've got left.
Find out right here as soon as we cross the stripe. I hope we can see green, white, checkered fan out here. Yes, we will. Green, white, checkered. So we will have one more chance to get this race ending, whether it ends under a yellow or the checkered flag.
So we will finish this race from the looks of things. What do you say we go ahead and speak with, I know will be a hot Daniel Falkingham right now. We like talking to these drivers sometimes where it's going to give us some quality content. We'll just leave it at that. Oh, Daniel immediately leaves. We're going to talk to him. I hope Daniel has a good evening. Definitely. I mean, he's got to be upset with the way that one goes. You can't be happy if you're getting turned at the end of the race like that. But, I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. You can't stay out of trouble all night long, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, I don't blame him for being frustrated. I mean, he had such a good run going, and honestly, for the sake of broadcasting, maybe it's a good thing he didn't come to the interview. I mean, it's always fun to have in the moment.
No, he would have kept it clean.
Interviews.
Daniel would have kept it clean. He's a
he
great
would have
guy.
kept it clean, but I'm sure he maybe didn't want to say something in the heat of the moment to, play victim of something.
Well, if we don't have Daniel Falkingham, we can still dial up another driver, and we have Sheldon Lockie. Sheldon, you're currently sitting fourth. How about that?
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised, but I just kind of hope if we don't run out of time, I hope this restart goes well, and I just don't die because of Rick getting tight.
Yeah, that was a big one right there. What did you see from your view?
I had Aaron ahead of me, so I couldn't really see, but I just saw Revan get tight and just go right up into Daniel, and Daniel just got killed, sadly.
And it's not the first time we've seen that this evening, unfortunately. It's a pretty easy mistake from the looks of things. How bad is the aero push?
It's pretty bad. I mean, I'm worried about Rick, mostly because of the fact that he has wing damage right now, as far as I can tell, and I have nowhere to go on this restart if we make it to that point.
Yeah, you're gonna run out of room quick, as we've already seen on these past few incidents. If you can clear some of these guys, what do you think is your, chance of getting up there to Spencer Madden and getting this race win?
My best chance probably is if Rick gets tight in 1 and 2, and I can shoot between him and Spencer, and then hopefully just see how it goes from there. Kind of a crap shot, but we'll see.
And finally, Sheldon, before we let you go, who do you have to thank this evening? Who makes it happen for you?
I'll say Aaron, just because I've been following him basically through the pack every single time, so keeps going, I guess, and yeah.
All right. Well, Sheldon, thanks for your time. Best of luck to you. The pace car lights are still on, actually. We still have some more time. I thought we were going to go racing this time by. How's the event gone overall? I mean, with these two races, varying lengths and such.
I mean, first race, I got in 2 wrecks that were not my fault. I did mess up on the beginning of this race, and I went up, and me and Daniel made contact, and I'm sorry if anyone got involved in that. But honestly, the second race I'm happier about so far. First race was just getting wrecked, basically.
You know, sometimes it's happened that's just how it goes when you open up a new season and have a lot of new faces. How do you think things are going to change next week when I have the notes here? We go to Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Well, I'm a terrible road racer, so I'll be shameful on that. I'm a terrible road racer, so I expect to be in the back of the pack with Justin Ish.
Well, Sheldon, it's always good to talk to you, I'm sure. Well, I mean, we have a chance here to talk to you post-race, so that's a pretty good night, no matter how it ends up going down. Best of luck to you on this restart.
Sweet, thank you.
And so that's Sheldon Lockie, currently running 4th, and it's good to talk to Justin Ford and Sheldon Lockie. They always give us some pretty good interviews, so hopefully he can get up there and mix it up with these guys in this restart. I'm not sure if I see damage on the front wing of Rick Ray Vaughn or not. Yeah, I mean, it's a little dinged up, so we'll see how that works out for him. Also, ATVO is showing us the final lap. We'll see if we go back green flag racing here. I'd imagine so. Out of turn number 4, we'll go back green flag racing. ATVO shows the final lap. I think we get a green white checkered in though. The green flies and we're racing.
And Spencer Madden once again with a great restart. Rick Ray Vaughn pushes way up the track. Contact cars around in the wall. 1, 2, 3 cars in the back, but we're still green.
I think we're out of cautions. We're going to stick with it here. They exit turn number 4, still racing. White flag in the air. Madden, Smith, and Lockie, your top 3.
I think Spencer's got this.
Oh no,
locked up.
that was the end. That was it.
Oh, that was.
That was the checkered flag. Spencer Madden wins here in Iowa.
Rick
They're-
Vaughn fell all the way back to 7th place.
They're still racing it out, but we've got race over on ATVO. It shows the completion of 54 laps here, and that is it up in the front. Spencer Madden wins at Iowa Speedway. It's Aaron Smith in second. Sheldon Lockie, we just talked to him, in third. Kyle Cuthbertson in fourth. Let's see what happened further back. So we're going to start out watching Rick Ray Vaughn here, and he's slow through these first couple of corners. He gets real tight just up the racetrack. That wing damage holding him back. Sheldon Lockie thankfully clears him, and we'll just follow Rick and see what happens here if we can. I guess here we go. Here's all the incidents. John Morgan involved and some others. We'll see how this all goes down. And here we go, back to the restart. And we're going to see what happens for these guys further back. You see they kind of get jumbled up a little bit slower, a bit of a gap there from Justin Ford up to the top 6. And then what happens? Morgan gets tight. Oh, and Bennett just runs in the back of him. A couple of big hits. Kiri Smith in it. Man, big hits here on the last couple of laps. Victor Valley gets in it as well. They kept racing it out. I think they were trying to race the 2 laps, even though we were only seeing the 1. It's hard to say. Sometimes things get a bit weird with those overtime finishes here on iRacing. But it looks like we only had the 1 lap. Regardless, we'll talk to some of these drivers. And Trey, I'm just going to hand it over to you with Spencer Madden.
Hey, Spencer, it's Trey up in the booth. You got a copy.
I sure do.
And you started second and held the lead for most of this. Just talk us through the race. How'd the car feel?
Well, the track was a lot cooler, so you could hold the bottom the whole time, which is exactly what I did. And just had to make sure nobody was in front of me before yellow came out.
So, with all that going on, there's a lot of 3 wide, 2 wide action. Who is your biggest concern through the race? You know, as we saw Adam Smith, Lockie, Cuthbertson, Rick Ray Vaughn up in the field up front most of the race. Who is your main threat per se that you thought that could have taken the win away?
Well, it's always Rick. It's just Rick.
So with that final restart there, was that actually a 1 lap or was that actually a green white checkered? Because it looked like we had a little bit of a scoring mishap on our end, so we're not quite sure what happened.
Yeah, it gave us the white flag on lap 53, even though it still showed 54 laps. So it was only a 1 lap shootout.
Gotcha. Well, regardless, you held the lead for most of the race, got it done, so now you have a win under your belt. Who makes it happen for you, man?
Just me.
All right, so Spencer Madden making it happen, brings home a W. What do you think? What can you carry from today into next week?
Nothing. Going from Iowa to Mosport, completely different
Oh,
tracks.
that's right. It is a road course. That is right. Well, how do you think you'll fare out at Mosport?
Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know who's going to show up, but I feel like I'll be all right.
All right. Well, we appreciate you for your time, man. Congratulations on your win, and have a good night, man.
Yeah, you too.
That is Spencer Madden, definitely a man of few words.
And we appreciate his time, of course. We'll go ahead and grab a couple other drivers here at the end of things. I've got my eye here on one Aaron Smith. We don't get to talk to him much, so I'll drag him down here. And Aaron, do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Aaron, we don't usually get to talk to you and your yellow greatness here on Pit Stop TV, but our colors are about the same. We have the yellow in our logo, the yellow on your car. You end up finishing second here in the second race. How'd your night go?
It went pretty well. First race didn't go as planned. Didn't really get to drive up through the field like I wanted to. But once we got to the second race, we knew what we were expecting. So we were able to go up through the field and finish where we wanted to. Couldn't get the win, but I'll take P2.
Now, from some of these drivers' perspectives, it sounds like nobody was very hot on that idea of Rick Ray Vaughan getting into Daniel Falkingham there at the end. What was your view of that incident? And just tell us about it.
I didn't really see much. I was pretty much following them, both of them up the track at that point. We were still tight and cold tires and all, and looked like Rick just slid up into Daniel just a little bit too far into the corner and got him. But fortunately, they gave him just a little bit of damage in the front to give us the edge on the restart. We were able to pass him on the bottom and take P2.
Yeah, so we talked to Sheldon Lockie about some of that aero push. How was it from your point of view? How bad was that aero push when you got up underneath somebody?
It wasn't that bad for me. I mean, I'd always throw it in really deep into the corner and ride it out on exit, and I didn't really feel that aero push much at all, if any, but it felt all right.
Well, it's a Big 10-4 here, driver. Before we go to Mosport next week, how are you feeling?
Good. I like road courses. I like Mosport. I like these cars. It should be good.
Right. All right, Aaron. Who makes it happen for you back at the shop or whatever? Who helps you out over at Aaron Smith Esports?
Oh, the old Revolution Satellite Racing gang, and I'd like to thank the folks in SRCA for putting this on, and y'all for broadcasting, and everyone for watching. And I'll be back next week.
Aaron, thanks for your time. We'll be talking to you. I'm sure next week you're always good on those road courses. We'll look forward to it.
Alrighty, thank you.
And so that's Aaron Smith finishing second in our second event this evening. What do you say we dial up one Sheldon Lockie one more time? This time, actually, I was going to dial up Sheldon Lockie. It looks like he is left for the evening. So what do you know? Why don't we go ahead and grab Justin Ford, and Trey, I'll turn it right over to you.
Hey, Justin, is Trey up in the booth? You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy, guys.
Man, you started 19th and ended up finishing 6th. Just talk us through that race, man.
Yeah, well, I learned a lot in the first race on what not to packs to stay in and when to move out. So basically, I kind of just chipped my way off, learned how to pass people, and then when the caution came out, I'd pit for tires and just go to back and just keep moving up through, and it happened to work out in the end.
What was your final thoughts of the, well, not final thoughts, but your thoughts coming to the final lap, rather, of that? Were you expecting a big wreck up front, or were you just trying to stay in line and follow anybody you were following throughout the race?
Yeah, actually, I was kind of expecting the guys up front to kind of possibly wreck, because I thought they said that Rick had some wing damage, so I didn't know if he was going to push up and take someone, so I kind of wanted to be able to capitalize on that. But I also had John Morgan on my inside, and I really didn't want to kill him again after what I did to him in the last Pro Mazda race. So I was like, I don't want to hurt him. I'm just going to try and avoid everything and see how this works out, and it worked out pretty good for me, actually, so I'll take that.
Yeah, you worked out in your favor, finished P6. What can we expect from you next week when we go to Canadian Tire?
You can probably expect me to crash and burn someplace, but hopefully I don't. That's what I usually go for on road races, try to just squeak on through and let everybody else take themselves out and see if I can salvage decent points out of it.
Right there with you on that, man. Who makes it happen for you?
I'm going to have to say Elijah for running the league, you guys for doing this awesome broadcast, and I would say the woman for cooking a good dinner to get me going for the race tonight.
Always a good time to have a good dinner before a race. Finishing P6, Justin Ford. Hope to see you next week, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Look forward to being interviewed again, hopefully.
All right. Have a good night, man. That is our 6th place finisher, Justin Ford.
We always like talking to Justin as well. A lot of these guys are just really good to talk to after a race or during a race or whenever we get to speak with them. But, man, Trey, we got some more results to go over. What do you say we check them out?
Yeah, let's go right into it. So race number 2, rather, Spencer Madden on the point after putting on a clinic tonight. Aaron Smith finishes 2nd, Sheldon Lockie 3rd, Kyle Cusperson 4th, Eric Block 5th, Justin Ford 6th, Rick Ray Vaughan after heartbreak finishes 7th, Ronald Singleton Young 8th rather, Timothy Bates 9th, and Ian Wilson 10th.
And in 11th, we've got one Victor Valley, Curie Smith in 12th. It's John Morgan in 13th. Travis Bennett comes up 14th. Rocco Stallone recovers to 15th. Spencer Owens ends up disconnecting early and finishing 16th. It's Daniel Falkingham in 17th place. Jeffrey Fisher ends up 18th. Will Klein 19th. And Cole Freilich rounds out your top 20. Richard Coulomb and Elijah Gracia connect, but do not turn any laps this evening. And man, it was another wild one here in Iowa. It's always fun to see how these SRCA Indy Pro 2000 cars do. It's our first time actually seeing them on track like this. We're used to the Pro Mazdas, the Pro 2000s, but man, this is a really good debut for these cars.
Most definitely. I had my hopes up for it to be really interesting, and these guys executed and put on a heck of a show.
That they did, as always. And well, Trey, it's been a lot of fun sitting here for a couple hours and talking about race cars, but that will conclude our coverage this evening of the SRCA Indy Pro 2000 series from Iowa Speedway. Pit Stop TV thanks you for tuning in and joining us for tonight's action, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Tune in again tomorrow as the Laconia Setup Shop Summer Tour hosts their season finale on the Charlotte Motor Speedway Legends Oval. And again, let's see, we've got a new league coming Tuesday, actually. So stay tuned on that. We've got some new racing, some more road racing coming to Pit Stop TV. Operation E-Motorsport will be joining us here on the channel. We look forward to more information coming soon about that. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/PitStopTV. On Twitter at PitStopTV_, over on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/pit_stop_TV, and on YouTube by searching Pit Stop TV. This has been Trey Patton with me in the booth, Emerson Ardon on social media. I am Andrew Cardinale IV for Pit Stop TV. We will see you next time.
Sound art is a product that is a speaker and it's art. We combine it together and we call it sound art. What makes it so unique that any picture can be your speaker? Sound art gives you the high quality sound without the ugly speaker. This isn't a picture with a speaker, the picture is the speaker. Just imagine your wedding picture uploaded onto a canvas and now it's speaking 10,000 tunes. I mean, it's a very cool concept. What we like so much about it that you can take anything that means something very special to you, upload it on the canvas, have it hanging up in your room, your balcony, wherever you want to put it, and now it's a speaker. I mean, how cool is that? It's something that we have that and no one has. No one has this product. It's just a great gift to give anybody. It's just a neat concept. Around here we say, art never sounded so good.